Hello, and once again, welcome to Let's Play Phantasy Star Online. I'm not doing that long intro again because it takes forever. Welcome back. This is the Getting Started video. So this is where we learn all about getting started with this game. I haven't done a whole lot since the last time I was here. I did some mag stuff. That is this lovely little guy right here. That is my mag. Capital M, capital A, capital G. I don't think it stands for anything. Sometimes it's, well, this particular mag is called mag, but mags are called in all caps. I don't know why they are. What it does is it boosts your stats. I'll get into that in a minute. The color change is purely cosmetic. There is a glitch. It used to be red, now it's white. That's what I'm talking about right now. There is a glitch on the SCHT server where androids, like my lovely female android here, always get red mags, where it's supposed to be based on the costume color of your character. So I made a random non-android, we call them fleshies, because they have flesh instead of metal skin. So yeah, I made a fleshy, grabbed the mag, transferred it over to this character, so now I have a mag. I also fed it a few times just because it takes a long time to feed up a mag. Alright, so this video is about the boring bits of the game. If you don't know about Phantasy Star Online, then you will probably benefit from watching this video. If you do know about Phantasy Star Online and you're just watching this because you are a PSO fanatic and you just love the game, you probably won't be learning anything new here. Of course, on the other hand, you probably don't need to be watching this video anyway. So, you can just go play the game. Because it's free. The game's free, by the way. Alright, so, what are we doing? Okay, first of all, I should probably note that this is actually multiplayer mode versus one-person mode. I'm just running around. I'm not anywhere in particular right now. I'm just, well, I'm in Forest 1. It's one of the areas you can be in the game. It's the early intro level. However, the thing is, I'm in normal mode, and I am not in a quest. I didn't want to be in a quest just because I wanted to go around, show some stuff. But, so yeah. So I'm in normal mode, which means that the enemies are more difficult. Gotcha. The enemies are a bit more difficult than they were in the other video. Not a huge deal. I still have a gun. So, yeah. I have a die. Let's die. Let's give you to die. There we go. Okay. Alright. So the first order of business is this lovely little guy, the mag. The first thing you want to do when you play this game is you want to feed this guy like crazy. I didn't do it because I didn't know what I was going to do with this mag. But yeah, basically, I should have been smart enough to just give him monomates. Okay, monomates are your basic healing. They give you health back. So if you get punched, use a monomate, and you get healed. However, you can also give them to your mag to increase your mag stats. What is a mag stat? Get into that in a second. But I need to be feeding this mag as much as I possibly can, because, well, mags also have a level cap of 200. As you can see, he is level 8. Your mag will reach 200 long before your character reaches 200. But they give you stats, which makes you better. Which make you, yeah, grammar. Alright, so, what are the various stats in this game? The first thing we should probably mention is that this menu here is brought up with the F12 button. So yeah, I don't know, that's not the most intuitive thing. It's probably not what I would come up with, F12, I don't know. But it is F12, brings up this lovely menu. You can, like F9 brings up, oh, that's actually a bad example. But like, various F keys bring up different windows. F12 brings up the most important window. It's basically the root menu. You can get to everything else from here. Right, so stats. Down here you can see the left and right arrow keys. You can do that to go through a bunch of different bits of information. One of these bits would be my stats page. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of different stats here and a couple different stats here. I will start with the stats. A bunch of letters and numbers, but the purpose of this video is for informational purposes, well, pretty much only. So if you don't want to know what I'm talking about for the rest of this, you can go ahead and skip this video. But if you want to know what I'm talking about, then you may want to watch. Okay, so ATP is attack power. The more attack power you have, the more damage you do when you shoot stuff or hit stuff with sticks. DFP is defense. That means you take less damage when you're hit. MST is mental strength. I don't have any because I'm an android, but that affects the power of like your fireballs and your heals and your and fireballs and heals, not your buffs. It does not affect buffs. Sadly, I think that would be kind of interesting. Well, okay, I'm not gonna get into balance. I will not get into balance. Okay, ATA, attack accuracy. This is very important. Okay, ATA, should probably establish this. Luck, I'll get this out of the way. Luck affects critical hits. So, if you get critical hits, you do extra damage. Yay. Luck caps at 100 for every character. You see this yellow? That actually means that that stat is at its maximum. It cannot go above that maximum. This is your base, this is your modified. Base is, in the parentheses here, the base is used to determine what you can equip. Like, for example, this saber, now since I've fed my mag, it requires 30 ATP. I have 35, so I can equip the saber. Very, very amusing. Yes, very amusing. Alright, so ATP is the DFB. You do damage here, you stop damage here. MST is just kind of there. Oh, well, actually, MST has to do with these over there. Long story. ATA and EVP. ATA is how accurate you are. EVP is how you dodge stuff. EVP as a stat on character, as your character kind of sucks, but you can get some really high EVP on enemies, and that can kind of screw you over. So, as you can see here, when those misses are because I do not have a ton of ATA. I am a ranger, I am a fairly accurate ranger. I wouldn't, more accurate than Raycast. The Rangers, in general, are very accurate classes. Excuse me, I get a drink every now and then. So, you're not going to be able to run around with a handgun and do this on, say, a hunter. You'll miss a whole lot more. Whereas, the handgun, as you can see, gives me a lot less modified ATP than the saber, which I'm currently using. So the saber will end up doing a lot more damage. As you can see, the saber ends up doing quite a bit more damage. It's incidentally also more accurate. Downside is that you have to be in melee range to use it. Real quick, back to MST. Basically, MST is your... If ATP is attack and DFP is defense, then MST would be basically your attack, and these would be your defense. These are basically elemental. The E stands for, I guess it stands for elemental, I don't know. We have fire, ice, thunder, dark, and light. So there are 5 different elements in this game. Your resistance depends on, it's your resistance. You resist them and they do less damage. Dark attacks are only instant kill attacks, so EDK makes you not instantly die, which is very kind of nice to have. Alright, so how about this little guy on my shoulder? What does he do? Well, as you can see, as I feed him, these stats here go up. What these do for every 1 point in these stats, I get points in my stats. For these, this is his total level. Synchro and IQ, not important at the moment. IQ more important, but that's not really that important. This is the breakdown for his stuff. You will always have at least 5 in defense, for whatever reason. Power, it affects your ATP, your attack power. Dex is accuracy. Mind is MST, mental strength. I obviously will not be getting any MST on my mag, or any mind on my mag. What it does is, basically, as you get the points, you get these 4 power. For power and mind, it's multiplied by 2. For Dex, it's divided by 2. And defense, it's just added by 1. So there are reasons why Dex is excuse me, why def is bad with materials and the like, but it's simply not efficient to get def on your mag, so a good mag will always keep 5 defense, but if you screw it up, don't worry about it, you can always make another mag. It just takes a while. Personally, I'm going to end up with a lot of power and dex on my mag, because I'm a ranger. I'm going for 5, 150, 45, 0, which is a fairly basic spread. It also gets you some pretty basic, like, 4th tier evolutions, namely Sato and Nidra, a cat and a scorpion. So yes, this can actually turn into different things as it levels up. Photon Blast, get into that at some other point. So yeah, as you can see, this mag here... Alright, so I have 5 defense, 4 power. Well, this is times 1. This is... well, every 1 point here, I get 1 point on my stats. Every 1 point here, I get 2 points on my stats. So as you can see, my DFP, if I take the mag off, it would make a difference of 5, whereas my ATP would make a difference of 8. So, as I feed my mag, it gets better at these things. And that is incredibly important. A level 200 mag is the single most useful item in the game. Almost without a doubt. It's just incredibly useful. Now, you may notice everything is in sets of 3. Techniques are not, but I'm not going to get into that because I don't have any techniques. Alright. Combat in this game is simple. Those are percents. We'll get into that a little bit later, but as you can see on this page, native, A-Beast, Machine Dark, everything here in Forest is native. That basically just means I do more damage to native. I don't do 10% more damage. I do, if you must know, I do 10 an additional... The weapon's base ATP gets increased by 10% when attacking native type enemies. You don't have to understand what that means, but if you're curious, that's what it means. Basically, I do more damage to native, which is in this area, so I want that. And I want my DFP more than my EVP. Oh, unless that has... Nope, no slots. Alright, so I digress a lot. I'm gonna go buy stuff for my mag, actually. Anyway, so you may notice these 3-hit combos. Everything in this game is a 3-hit combo with the exception of techniques and some combo-locked weapons, which simply can't combo at all. They just hit one time, like, bam. So yeah, combat is based around those 3 hits. Timing must be done when you press the button to attack again, simply at the end of your first hit, and then you hit again, because you finish your first hit, and then you hit the button, and then you attack again. If you mash the button, you will not combo. That's just basics, but hey, our first time, alright. I don't actually need that many mountain. What I really need are antidotes. Do I have enough money? I do not have enough money. Oh well, now I have no money. But it's worth it, because I can't use antidotes. I know I just sold them in the last video, but whatever. I know I can't use them, however, I can effectively, I can give them my mag still. As an android, antidotes cure poison, so I cannot be poisoned. I am made of metal, I cannot be poisoned. That's a plus, but I can still give it to my mag, and that'll raise its stats, so. Different items will raise its stats by different amounts. Pretty straightforward, I feel. So, other things that are important. A few things that are really nice. I just have a ton of items down here. This is my quick weapon select tab. You can bring this up by hitting Control N. Now that's bizarre, but Control N brings this up, and you can quickly switch between weapons. Quite straightforward. And one thing, I know I already did it once, but I should probably explain why I'm doing this, because it's kind of a bit of a more advanced thing, but alright, you notice I run around and I'm moving nice and fast, and then I get close to him and I start walking real slow like.